The British invasion. It's fashionable to make fun of the British invasion, the music, when the music came in 63, 64. But you have to look back on what was going on. Of course, everybody talks about JFK being assassinated about 5-6 months before the Beatles came. But it was milquetoast music out there. It was horrible. No rock. Elvis had died off years before. I mean, he wasn't dead, but his music had died off years before. The Big Bopper had died in the crash. Nothing was going on. Little Richard wasn't doing much. Nobody was really happening. Suddenly the Beatles show up on our doorsteps. If you look at one of the first concerts on video, you see them in Washington when they had to move the stage and turn the stage manually around so the people on the north side, the east side could get to see the Beatles playing. So you're listening now to music that had no technology, nothing, no real electric music to listen to, a little speaker, a little amp, maybe, whatever, drums, and a lot of distortion and a lot of yelling. But these guys were able to get the beat through, the sound through. And when they came, they were followed by a zillion other bands, which just broke open the whole music scene in this country. And unless you were there, I mean, I was young. I was just hitting my first double figures in my life. And as you're moving forward, you hear this music, and everybody was singing the music. And it wasn't just the Beatles. They just opened the door. You got the Rolling Stones. Everybody makes fun of Mick now with all the old man look in his face. You kidding? Under My Thumb, Street Fighting Man, Mother's Little Helper. Of course, you listen to their music, Get Off My Cloud. Incredible music, incredible music. The Animals, Eric Burdon, House of the Rising Sun with the darkest organ you've ever heard in the background. The Dave Clark Five. The Dave Clark Five may be the most underrated of the British invasion come blowing in. They got Dave just playing drums, not knowing what he's doing, but just beating out a beat. You got Rick Huxley doing his thing on the bass. Okay. Lenny Davidson, okay guitar player, but pretty good. Mike Smith, pretty good organist, and what a voice. And Denny Payton on sax. And if you listen to their music, Glad All Over, Because, Catch Us If You Can, Do You Love Me, or Any Way You Want It, with the sax blowing at you and Mike wailing and the organ going and Lenny just doing some basic guitar riffs and Dave in the background. And how could you not love that music? This isn't music you listen to commercials. This is music you listen to. And as they came out, even more groups started coming out. It just took over the music world. And then what happens? America comes over with their anti-invasion. You had Paul Revere and the Raiders, Hungry, Kicks, forget what the words said. The music burned. The bass was incredible. The Beach Boys, did they go through some changes? From When I Grow Up to Be a Man, California Girls, East Coast girls are hip, I really dig those styles they wear. And then you listen to Hailstorm, Lizzie Hale yelling about American Boys on her last album. Same type, just a lot louder, better technology, and man, she's got a pair of pipes. I'm sorry, back to the British invasion. So you're listening to this kind of music, got the Kinks. You really got me. Remember that opening line by Dave Davies? Da-na, da-na, da-na-na-na-na. It opened the door for Van Halen, for Eddie Van Halen and other guitarists to come in and shred it. Shred it. When you listen to Eddie Van Halen play, You Really Got Me, after, what is it, Explosion or whatever the first song is on that album. You just hear these strings shredded. It's just rock. And that's what happened. And it started coming in and it took over. It took over everybody. And it was youth. It was what was happening. Once again, it wasn't text. It wasn't Twitter. It wasn't Instagram. All that stuff's cool, but that was listen. We listened. It was audio. Like I was saying on the Beach Boys. Take the Beach Boys, go from their early stuff, and then as they started cooking it in good vibrations, where they went into psychedelic and playing all the different sounds in the background, took them weeks to put it together. Nobody could believe that kind of music was being put together. And then, of course, it exploded into psychedelic, which we'll get into later in another video. But once again, listen to the music. The music just has energy, it has excitement. It just sounds great. Don't listen to it behind the commercial. Don't watch the video and listen to the music. Start out, listen to when rock really broke out. I'm not arguing Elvis or any of the other stuff. Watch when rock really broke out. Listen when it broke out. Then after you listen to the music, look at them in concert or look at some of those old shots of them, and you'll be amazed to see that the music that you hear that sounded so great could be put out on such primitive instruments, and these people were just young guys basically with long hair coming out, shaking it and rocking and rolling. No video. Listen. Close your eyes. Listen. Feel it. Love it. Peace.